In May of 2026, the University of Kentucky Office of Land Grant Engagement brought administrators, faculty, and staff from across campus to Western Kentucky. The 2026 Land Grant Engagement Bus Tour was a university-wide opportunity to listen, learn, and connect directly with communities working on healthcare access, workforce and economic development, education, arts, agriculture, and local resilience. The goal was to better understand the priorities and strengths of the region, and to see how the full resources of the University of Kentucky can help serve communities across the Commonwealth through the Advancing Kentucky Together initiative.
So we are very, very grateful. So thank you very much for taking your time to come here to visit us. That means a lot to us, also means a lot to the community. So thank you very much.
We saw this as a great opportunity to figure out how to extend the university's resources throughout the entire Commonwealth, including the far western part of the state. So we were excited to have folks that represented lots of different departments and colleges and administrations so that they could hear and listen to some of the great challenges and opportunities that our communities and organizations are facing.
On the tour, participants visited communities throughout Western Kentucky, listening to local leaders and learning how land grant engagement takes place in different places. In Grayson County, the stop highlighted how community organizations and agencies are working collaboratively to address locally identified community health needs. At the UK Research and Education Center in Princeton, they learned how knowledge is extended to the community and the agriculture industry. In Muhlenberg County, the visit focused on community investment in economic development, workforce development, and education. In Paducah, the connection between local access and local impact is clear. For students, access close to home can change the direction of a life.
It's just an amazing opportunity. I knew that I could go through this program and I would be able to get out debt-free with an amazing degree that can get me, almost any job in this industry. I've done clubs, I've done research, I've also done internship experience. All of those, I think, have really built me a solid foundation in engineering.
For communities, it can help build the workforce they need to grow.
Having an engineering school right here in Paducah is a huge asset to this area. We have so many engineering jobs, and the turnover rate was very high. We had people coming from other places. This wasn't their home. They would just go back. So now we recruit most of our students locally, and then almost all of them stay here locally to work.
And being able to have a program here in Kentucky that gives you this amazing opportunity, it's almost like a golden ticket.
Paducah shows what can happen when the university listens to a community need, helps build a local pathway, and stays connected to the people that pathway is meant to serve. The lesson from Paducah extends beyond engineering. Across Western Kentucky, the university heard a consistent message: communities know their needs. They are looking for partners willing to listen, adapt, and walk alongside them.
So part of what we are really good at the University of Kentucky is being able to take a look at problems, take a look at ideas, do some evaluation, do research, do other kinds of applied engagement with those. But communities know what their problems are. They're just looking for somebody who might have some different ideas and someone who's willing to walk alongside them as they figure it out.
For Extension, we do our best to find ways that we can meet the needs of the community and engage them in the process of learning new things and helping our community grow.
Paducah has a UNESCO Creative City designation, which is a huge factor in why there's such support for the arts, especially downtown.
In Paducah, arts and culture are how people connect, create identity, and build opportunity.
Well, I think arts are essential to the strength of Kentucky communities in that there's a culture across the state of individual artists that are distributed all across the Commonwealth. There's a market for arts, and there's a community engagement aspect of the arts that is essential to bring people together.
In Fulton and Hickman counties, the question was healthcare access and the future of the rural dental workforce.
So we realized that we were going to be looking at dental deserts where you would have to drive forever to see your local dentist. It's important to get dental students to go back to rural Kentucky. There's multiple barriers for students who are interested in becoming a dentist. First, they don't have a role model. And they also need to have more access to science and math that UK offers, but they may not know about it. So this is a way for us to connect people. The other thing we want to do is keep sending them back to their home community. We don't want them to lose their connection there.
Whether the need is engineering, healthcare, extension, arts, education, or economic development, the pattern is the same. The university serves better when it listens first.
The struggles that we're facing, the successes that we're enjoying.
The tour was also an internal challenge. To serve Kentucky better, people across campus have to see beyond their own colleges, offices, and disciplines.
We don't see what other colleges do. And not just in the teaching, but also research, outreach, programs they do, and also innovative approaches to engaging communities. So when we bring all kinds of people in, we see the different opportunities for collaboration, but also creative ideas. So whatever we do, whether instruction, research, outreach, extension, they're meant to improve and enhance the livelihood of all those people we serve.
That is the broader vision of land-grant engagement. Not one college carrying the work alone, but the full university understanding where it can help.
We have, up until recently, have relied on the College of Agriculture to serve that third leg of outreach and engagement. And I think with the Office of Land Grant Engagement, and to see all the folks here that are not part of the College of Ag, that they truly see how their work can influence positively folks across the state. And so now we are bringing all of the university's resources to bear, which is extremely powerful.
And what we know is each county, all 120 of them, are vastly different. And their needs are vastly different. Their people are different. Their goals, their dreams, whatever they want is different depending on where they are. The thing we have to do is we have to go to our people and say, what do you need? How can we help? How can we improve your life?
We think about all 120 counties in Kentucky, and our goal is to bring the research, extension, and teaching missions to each community by asking them what do they need, to bring that expertise to the communities as we co-create solutions to the issues or problems or concerns that they bring to us.
When we started having dialogue in our use of school system.
So this bus tour was one of the first steps that we are trying to bring a broader vision of land-grant engagement to Kentucky, not just the extension offices in every county, but also those areas of expertise that counties need in other colleges. We were very, very focused on building the capacity of faculty, staff, and administrators to understand the differences in every community that we were visiting. We wanted them to see that Western Kentucky has very unique needs, has very interesting opportunities that they may never have thought of before, being 4.5 or 5 hours from Lexington. So it's important that we bring people out to actually have discussions with community leaders to make sure that they're heard, but also to make sure that we are double checking and thinking through what can we bring to all the communities in the Commonwealth.
The path forward is a stronger, more intentional connection between campus expertise and community need.
What's been a consistent message, I think, has been their resilience and their partnership. Their recognition that they have an obligation to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, but also leverage the resources that are in the region. That we have 120 branches of the University of Kentucky in each of the counties, and recognizing there's a logical resource connection between those facilities directly to our faculty and staff at the university. But we need to do more. We need to make sure that it's a well-beaten path from our campus location out to the Commonwealth. And we have to make sure that we're not delivering a product that they don't want. We have to work with what their needs are. And again, part of what this listening tour has been is to be able to hear those communities talk about their resource needs. And I do think there's a great deal of advanced partnership that's possible.
And that is the work ahead. Listening to Kentucky communities, learning from them, and building a stronger path between the University of Kentucky and the people it exists to serve.